think I can see that perspective of it. I think for me, what I feel like they're paying off, especially like last night, and watching, it almost seems to me like they're trying to kind of revive and revitalize the bloodline. Like it almost feels like they're bringing that back because with Punk bringing up the family,
Mm.
and a lot of people,
Ah, and
you know, like
the Usos are back together.
yeah,
They.
well, Jimmy friggin' knocked him
Hmm.
on his butt
Yeah,
last night, so it was just like
yeah.
one of those things where I'm sitting there going, oh man, are they gonna reunite the bloodline? Are they gonna make this come back? Because really, like when and it would be perfectly consistent because you look at what Roman said since he came back, right around
Hmm.
Royal Rumble time, he was sitting there talking about how bad creative was and how basically he goes, I leave for a while to allow you guys to come up with something and still you can't make it happen, and
Hmm.
so I'm gonna have to come back and just smash everybody again, so
Yeah.
it seems like we're coming back
Hey,
to the bloodline
well,
being back.
Sami Zayn used to be in the Bloodline, right?
He did. He
And
did.
again, I can't watch SmackDown like I do Raw, but on the highlights, I mean, like you keep hearing these rumors, and I watch dirt sheet YouTube channels, if you will.
Right.
Is Sami Zayn kind of? He's got some tendencies right now, planting some seeds on him. Able, so if he turns heel, then the Usos can turn heel. You know what I'm saying? And you
Yeah,
know,
yeah. Well, and it's even funnier too, because even like last night, you look at it like the Usos are wearing all black, and like not that like wardrobe always says everything, but I also feel like these guys are, first of all, they're really brilliant in how they plan out these things, and I think there's intentional decisions that really do make sense to me. And you look at Jay and you look at Jimmy, and last night those looked like Jimmy and Jay from the Bloodline, where you
okay,
really are like we're decked out, in all black, and we are a unit, right?
yeah.
And even then, like I feel like
And I
you kind of had
noticed,
that.
and
Mhm,
last night because we're filming this on Tuesday the 10th, so last night was
mhm.
Raw. They didn't come through the audience. Notice
No,
that?
it was down the ramp.
It's
Yeah,
been a
yeah,
long time, other than Royal Rumble. Oh no, I
mhm.
think even the Royal Rumble. Yes,
Yeah. At the
Jay.
Rumble, they were coming through the crowd.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jay Uso did. I know that because that's when Brock Lesnar was thrown over the top rope and no one was paying attention.
unceremoniously. Yeah, everybody was. What the
Anyways,
heck?
another story there, but
For
okay,
sure.
but yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, they're gonna probably start milking the bloodline with Punk. Who knows? But I
Mhm.
don't know. I just hope Punk goes over. That's what I want to see, and I
I
just
get
think,
that,
you
and
know,
and I think honestly, for me, I don't want to be wishful thinking here. It feels to me like we're working towards something bigger than that.
well,
Like
that's
I
usually the
so
case. That's usually
Yeah,
the case.
because Rock wasn't there last year. He wasn't available for Vegas that year. And in my head, I'm sitting here going, Punk invoked the family. And the family's the only thing that keeps Rock, Roman, and all the Usos together is
Yeah,
family. So in my head, I'm
yeah.
immediately sitting here going, are we making like, and this has been speculation too, that a lot of people have been saying, like, Fatu is also in a match with Drew McIntyre at Mania. But Fatu is looking like he, doesn't have a title, but even then, you sit there and you go, okay, well, if I've got Roman, the Usos, Jacob Fatu, and The Rock, I mean, that's a bloodline that is
Yeah.
not only at the peak of their powers, but it's also a bloodline that's worth watching, and it's going to be
Yeah.
exciting to see.
It will be exciting. That's why
Hmm.
I love being back. I love being back in it.
Yeah.
Because when it's good, it's good.
Hmm.
And so let's change real quick, and I'll make this really fast. Is Penta? I've
Oh
been,
man.
he and I debuted together, Jacob.
Heck yeah, you did.
He
Heck
debuted
yeah.
when I debuted as a new fandom, new
Hmm.
super fan.
Love Penta.
So which oddly I could say I've followed his entire WWE career, Jacob. That's how,
You have. Yeah,
and
I love
you
it.
know, classic mid card baby face, but over. He's always.
So good.
I feel like the way he has his mask and face paint, the way his whole gimmick, if you will, is
Hmm.
inviting, and you can believe in him. Often,
Hmm.
like Dragon Lee, he's a great
Hmm.
wrestler, but I don't buy into any kind of personality. Where Penta's full of
Hmm.
personality.
Hmm. For
Um,
sure.
so anyway, seeing him go through all these little, storylines, this, that, and the other, and
Yeah.
getting, putting people over too. There was some weeks I was like, they just made him lose again,
Mm,
but now it's
hmm
come full circle, and the way it went down, beating Dom, I thought it was great. I'm glad they did it on TV. I thought that was a good idea. It
hmm
was just exciting, and it's also great to see. The audience loved it. They popped for it. It's good to see.
Yeah,
It makes for a real moment, because I know that must have been a big deal for him. So
for sure. And I also feel like it's right place, right time. Like it was something everybody was ready for. Everybody was like, yeah, I would
yeah,
love Penta to be IC champion. You know what I mean? It just
yeah,
makes sense
and it
for
looks
sure.
cool, and it just, yeah. So,
Hmm
um, but I mean, the I don't mean to keep directing this for us here,
Keep going, dude. Absolutely. Yeah.
but part of this Penta story
Oh
is the
yeah.
fact that Dirty Dom was cursed by one Danhausen.
Oh
So
yeah.
let's talk Danhausen. And this
Oh
is
man.
another prime example of me being out of the loop, and chalk me up as one of the guys out here that the introduction on Elimination Chamber was my
Mhm.
very first ever introduction to Danhausen.
Mm.
And wow, it didn't take long
Yeah.
for me to just start digging through YouTube and finding his channel and watching
hmm
interviews. He did a fascinating interview with Not Sam 4 years
Ooh. Okay.
ago. It's out there. People, find it, with Not Sam.
hmm
It's about 4 years old, and he does it in full gimmick, full voice, full character. And then Not Sam, or Sam Roberts, does a beautiful job of staying in kayfabe with him, and interviewing. He interviewed Danhausen. You know what I'm
Yeah, the
saying? Like,
character. Yeah, of
so,
course.
and he was really great at it, and pitching and making it so Danhausen, in the course of the interview, tells you exactly who the character is and what it's about. And
Right.
it's a master class of a
hmm
podcast episode in wrestling, when interviewing someone that's in kayfabe like that.
Oh yeah.
Um, and I'm so hooked, man. There's just something about that character. So how long have you known about Danhausen?
So Danhausen was somebody that obviously, so I've got Punk's AEW figure
Uh-huh.
actually given to me by somebody whose birthday is today. That is my girlfriend Claire's aunt Terry's. She gave me that one. But while I was watching Punk and AEW, I mean, you obviously stumble into so many different characters in the wrestling world, and like I really think we're in such a great period in time in wrestling where there's just so many like unbelievably amazing characters, and Danhausen is one of them. And I
That,
think
had
in a
you heard of
different
him though?
way.
Did you know that he was tearing up the
No,
indies? And was
no,
he was
no,
on
not at all.
AEW? He was on AEW.
hmm
And then, as a story, as I've learned, they ended up, just for whatever reason, pulling him off TV, and he just disappeared. He was still under contract. They let him stay home. They let him do the indies. But the last, if I'm getting this right, the last year and a half or so, or 2 years at AEW, um, he was on contract but never did anything with them ever, and was just,
Yeah, from what I've heard and from what I've gathered from a lot of interviews with people that have left there, that's pretty commonplace for a lot of people over
uh,
there, or at least that's a lot more common. That if somebody's under contract, they may not just they just may not use them. Um, but I think with Danhausen, what I admire so much is that there needs to be variety in wrestling shows,
yeah.
and with Danhausen, you get obviously a great comedic act, but also just somebody that can just sit there and just pull off some sort of nonsense, and it's just entertaining. You know
Oh,
what I mean? Like,
his improv game is so strong. Again, let's go back to the Not Sam podcast. Like, in order
mhm,
for that to work, him and Sam had to be dance partners, like in a ring,
mhm, mhm,
and you never saw, his real name was Danny Danhausen or something like that, right?
mhm, mm,
You never saw him break character in the way he was able to just handle any question given to him. And
yeah,
now, and seeing him now, he's been on Raw twice and SmackDown once.
mhm,
And then, interesting, last night at Raw, because I follow some people on Facebook that stream live.
mhm.
The one that comes through my Facebook feed more than anybody is Sandy Zap.
I
Uh,
love Sami Zayn. Yeah,
Sandy
he's
Zap.
great.
That's my dude. Like I will stop on his reels when he's, it's a
Hmm.
clip from live stream. Well, he's in
For
Canada.
sure.
He's in Canada,
Hmm.
so he gets to watch it on Netflix without commercials. It's like different. So
Hmm.
Danhausen had a segment for the arena only. Call it a dark segment. It wasn't on TV.
Right.
I don't know if you've seen the clip, but it's short, sweet. He gets up there. He says, "What's up, Seattle Hausen?
Yeah.
I want to thank my fan Hausens."
Danhausen's,
He's like
yeah.
very nice, very evil, and then he starts throwing T-shirts out, and he's like, "If you did not get a free T-shirt, go to WWE.com or whatever." It becomes like a commercial for his shirts,
It's
and then it's
freaking funny.
done. It's done. Um, but I just think that guy is so talented. It's performance art what he's doing.
Hmm.
That is beyond just knowing how to do a good promo and being funny on TV.
Right.
When you follow his YouTube channel, it's Love That Danhausen.
Hmm.
And he does vlogs at all of the signing places, all of the conventions he goes to, and it's all in character. It's great. It's
It's
fantabulous.
beautiful. Yeah. I love him.
So yeah, so one Danhausen. I'm hooked again, and I just can't wait to see him on TV again. I can't wait till they
Right.
actually put him in the ring on TV. That will come someday,
Yeah. I
even
get,
if it's
well,
just
because he's been,
talking. Even if it's just
well,
talking,
he's been, he's been talking about potentially doing like, I don't know if it was particularly this is how he worded it, but something about like getting like a mentor, having people like come alongside him. So like to put Danhausen in a
Yeah,
tag team, a lot of people have been saying like The Miz would be really freaking cool. Like I
yeah,
think that would be great.
yeah.
Um,
He needs a
but
mentor
man,
to take him straight to the top.
that's exactly right. Straight to the top. So I mean, and the topic of this, we've talked about a couple. Like, I mean, we've got Punk, we've got Penta, we've got Danhausen. You getting right back into this as of Netflix and all that other sorts of stuff. Who is some of Derrick Michaud's favorite that are
Hmm.